So the way that the bus is set up, as you can see, this is a behind the scenes. This is what it looks like when we're opening for the season. I've had some indoor events over the winter, so it's a little bit less organized than what we would have it between Bookmobile events. But just to give you a little bit of the layout of the store, here we start with overstock. And if anyone has customer orders, I'll pull them here to the side if they want to pick them up in person. And we have a section of Braille and visually impaired books, large print books. See yourself on the shelf section. And this is frontward facing, so when you come into the bookstore, up these stairs right here, you can see that this bookstore is all about making sure that you are able to see and experience a character, an illustrator, an author that has something to say that you can relate to. In that, I want for people to be able to say, this is something that I didn't know about, and this is an opportunity for me to learn about that. Those are called window and mirror books. I can see myself, or I can look through and see someone else and learn about them. Graphic novels here, refugee, immigration, migration, immigration, and new homes books. Science and STEM, more science and STEM right here. We have handmade greeting cards. I think they're just so beautiful. I try to source greeting cards from local authors and illustrators and artists. Yes, and journals, more cards. Then this whole section here are picture books, and this covers a range of age from 1 to about 5 or 6. You can continue reading picture books even after your kiddos are in school, because it's guided reading, and sometimes those are the books that they'll pick up to read the pictures back to you. I do feel like bookmobiles and mobile bookstores and alternative format bookstores like online or pop-up bookstores are definitely growing. When I first started, there were only a few bookmobiles, and they are tied to brick and mortar locations. So now, though, with COVID having happened and the ability to be able to take the books to the community, that has given rise to more of these mobile book stores, and I'm happy for it, because then we can take the books to the people. Sometimes people aren't able to come to a bookstore, or they don't know that they need to go to a bookstore, and so being able to go out into the community gives the opportunity to make an impact, to give me the opportunity to speak with people about family literacy and reading with their children before school ever happens. It's so important to get that foundation going of being able to read the pictures and then realize that those little squiggles on the page are letters, and those letters have sounds, and when you put those sounds together, it makes words. Those things happen incrementally in steps, and reading with your children at home will help when they get to school for those things to gel faster. I know that with my own daughter, we read together a lot, and my sister spent a lot of time reading with her too, and so before she ever went to kindergarten, she was able to read books, and so that has helped her tremendously in school. But in the community, it's also a form of education in a very gentle and loving way, to say that we do have the ability to impact our children before they go to school, and it doesn't have to be something that is a burden or taking up a lot of time. It can take as little as 15 minutes a day. And the beautiful thing about children's books is that even if you do not speak the language that your child is learning in school, typically English, that you can read along and learn with them. And that takes some of the stigma out of illiteracy, because it gives you the power to learn at the same time with your child, and create a bond. hear how your child is pronouncing words as they do learn how to read. Check and see what their comprehension skills are and understanding of what they're reading. And that's something that we really encourage when we go out into the community, and talking to families, having families come into. And so the thing that I love about community is that we can go to a community that does not have a bookstore, and I can curate what I'm carrying in the bookstore for that community. So if I'm going to a community that speaks Spanish, or I'm going to a community that speaks Hmong, I can make sure that I have a good amount of books in those languages, or in the cultures that I'm going, that the community is representing where I'm going. One example of that is Metro Deaf School is a school that we partner with each year for their annual fundraiser, and we also go out to the school to do an in-person book fair and an online book fair for them. And so we curate books for their online book fair as well as in person that represent the deaf and hard of hearing culture, as well as have authors who are deaf or hard of hearing, the characters are deaf or hard of hearing, so that people don't feel alone in this world. There is someone who understands the experiences that you're going through. And so I think that that creates a huge impact in communities, but even all the way down to the individual members of the community. When you feel a sense of acceptance, then you can move about with a freeness that you don't necessarily feel when you're in situations where you're not accepted, or you're othered, or you're constantly looking to make sure, is it okay for me to be in this space? Am I safe in this space? And so being able to bring the Bookmobile to communities, and people come in and see, yes, I am safe in this space because I see someone who looks like me. I see my language on the shelf. I can ask a question if I feel uncomfortable and I don't know what I'm doing in here. And that's interesting too, is that sometimes people, they say, well, how does this work? Is this a library, or do we buy the books? And so there is a little bit of discussion about being an indie bookstore, and that you can take these books home and they are yours to keep. And also, making sure that people know that they can purchase books online, or look online to find where the Bookmobile is going to be.